Welcome to Panther Sports and thanks for clicking. We're catching up with the best of the heavyweight prospects in action this April. Big Gurgen Hovhannisyan beats big Dejuan Calloway. Calloway, the fastest 400-pounder on earth. Looks like a super size me continuation of James Toney. Calloway had enjoyed a rise of sorts of late, largely just for being in the right place when Thomas Carty stumbled, but here he had no answer for Big Gug. He moved well and showed real improvement in his use of the lead hand. He picked and pecked at Calloway early before dispatching him at relative ease when he turned the heat up. Recent matchroom boxing signing Lenier had a nice run out here against the teak tough Webster. Perro's Cuban stylings were far too much for Webster, who showed great toughness in staying the distance. Commentary mentioned he'd survived 2 gunshots to his leg, so what's a few slick rips to the body, eh? Onward and upward for Perro, who probably needs to be fighting better guys at this stage. Lazibek Mullojonov, the 2024 Paris gold medalist, matched here against the vastly underseasoned 18-year-old Panamanian national champ Mendoza. Mullojonov breaks his nose early on, and the ref shows mercy in the third. This was part of the WBC Riyadh season 64-man heavyweight tournament, and Mullojonov looks the best of the field. Interesting development pathway, it's worth keeping an eye on. Richard Torrez Jr. is probably the great American heavyweight hope in the wake of Anderson's loss to Bakhodir. Vianello represented a good step-up fight here. Asked some questions of Torrez, who showed good head movement and varied entries throughout. A solid, if unspectacular, decision that moves Torrez into the fringe world contender level. Bout against Stephan Shaw might represent an interesting all-American clash with upside for both men. You hope Frazer Clarke got good value from the camp and he gets the confidence of putting himself back in the win column after losing 2024 to Fabio Wardley. Tetteh was stopped inside the first. Not immediately obvious this was the same human who fought Dillian Whyte. Whyte probably the biggest loser in this matchup, and I think Clarke-Whyte might be an interesting next step for both. Prospects here maybe, but Stephan Shaw bowls over Akpejiori very easily in the first round. Shaw is still very much a top 10 American heavyweight right now, and he could represent a good yardstick for up-and-coming domestic talent. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Torrez Jr. Shaw was a long-time sparring partner for Wilder, and he is, if nothing else, defensively responsible. Bakhodir Jalolov up here against the Hulk Shevadzutskyi, a personal favourite of mine, a delightfully compact man who's only been bowled over by Martin Bakhodir. Jalolov starts brightly, always moving to his right, lead hand controls, picks off sharp left hand straights, puts the Hulk down using this method, but he just keeps using it. There's very little variety through 10 rounds. Gas tank looks a little questionable late on too, so it's a win for Jalolov, but maybe it only brings up more questions. Big D, David Adeleye, be investing in a Christmas card for referee Ron Carney, who made himself a talking point of this fight. TKV started the better, used his jab to great effect and outboxed Adeleye. There were 2 incidents of poor refereeing, of punching on the break. It led to both TKV and Adeleye landing questionable shots. Adelaye's effort ended the fight, TKV's didn't, and that's just boxing, I guess.